how to be a good husband.
What has surprised you in that respect, to the extent that you can share?
That I'm so perplexed about it, even though I've been married for 7 years, and I'm still, I'm still incompetent as a husband.
How has being a husband and a father affected your thinking and writing?
Well, I was thinking about that in connection with our disagreement about gossip, and how do I put this? I mean, you have a more, it's fair to say, more liberal or tolerant view of gossip than I do.
Many forms of gossip. Some forms of gossip, I would agree completely with you.
Right. So, is it true that you've never been married, is that right?
It's correct.
And you don't have any kids?
Correct.
Is that right? Have you ever held that job for, like a real job, like a 9-to-5 type of job for a significant period of time?
I held a weekend job at a radio station in news for a little over 2 years, and let me think, what about 9 to 5? For like 9 months, a 9-to-5 job?
Do you remember a full-time job?
Yeah. I've had 40, 50-hour-a-week full-time jobs, but for like 6 to 9 months.
Okay. And have you ever been part of a community that you felt committed to?
Yeah, almost all my life, except for maybe 3 years, I've been part of a traditional religious community.
Okay.
Either Christian or Jewish.
So, one way that having a, that my life position has made me rethink gossip is that you understand what other people have to lose. You can destroy, with gossip, you can destroy someone's family, his role in a company, his job, his marriage, his participation in a community, and to understand what all those things mean, and to understand what people have at stake. And you really have to experience those things to know what can be lost through irresponsible spreading of information that may or may not be true.
So being a husband and father has made you more keen to the destructive quality of gossip?
In other words, I now know, but I hear of people whose lives have been destroyed, and it's not just their lives, but it's also the lives of their children, the lives of their wives, it's their community, it's whoever they work with on the job. It's a whole network of responsibilities and connections that's destroyed by irresponsible spreading of information. You don't just kill the one person, you kill his family, his wife, everyone connected with him. So you really, it places a tremendous responsibility on the person who wants to spread information. It's not, and your argument, I think, if I'm not mistaken, was that kind of where there's smoke, there's fire.
No, my argument is that the transmission of gossip, that you always have to balance the good that it does versus the harm. So sometimes when you transmit personal information that most people would label as gossip, it does more good than harm because it informs the unwary about something that could hurt them.
It could, but I mean, I guess I'm placing more stress on the harm. Instead, if you're not 100% sure of your conclusion, and even if you are, even if you're talking about a person as a real beast, he's got children, he's got a family, he's got all these, and you really hold someone, not just his life in your hand, but the lives of all the people who are connected with him. And something that I might write about at some point is you find that, and this has always bothered me, but it's a phenomenon of people who have either opted out of or exempted themselves from or been exempted by either by chance or by privilege or circumstances from responsibilities and worries and concerns that other people have, and who treat those responsibilities and concerns of other people lightly, and then wear that fact as proudly as a badge of honor. And it's not said, even if you don't see this as being the case with the sort of the whole, the blogs that gossip, and because it would be interesting to know all the Jewish blogs that with all the gossip they publish. The people who run them, are they people with anything at stake?
Well, the more you have at stake, the more vulnerable you are, and the less you're in a position to write gossip.
Well, that's kind of my point. The gossip blogs. I have the instinct. I haven't done the research.
Yeah, they're not going to be done by married people with kids who are part of an orthodox community.
There's people who really can't be hurt and can't, from personal experience, know what it means to be destroyed by gossip. And that kind of drives me a little bit berserk. But this is true of lots of other areas too. You think of, something I write about in my book is the whole movement for a death tax, for an inheritance tax. And one of the chief advocates of it is Bill Gates Sr., who, only from the best motives, I'm sure, he's in favor of a very stiff inheritance tax. But that inheritance tax, because of his position in life, and because of the position more to the point of his son, Bill Gates, that's never going to affect his grandkids in a significant way. No matter how big the inheritance tax is, realistically, his grandkids, Bill Gates' children, are never going to be hurt in a significant way by it. But that's not true of my father or lots of other people who would like to be able to pass on their earnings to their children and grandchildren, but would be really significantly socked by the heavy inheritance tax. So someone like Bill Gates Sr., even from the best notice, is exempted from a worry that other people have, and he treats that worry lightly, and it's perceived by the people as a sort of a badge of nobility, and I think that's wrong. There's a whole phenomenon of rich people, Hollywood celebrities who feel that we should have heavier taxes in general, But it's never going to hurt them, but it will hurt me. And this phenomenon, I kind of believe that there are some people who